Hello there everybody, and a warm welcome to my channel, Tarot by Izabela. I hope you're all doing fine, and I'm very happy to see you here. Today's video will be a viewers' questions video, and it will be a video about questions that the viewers have made me in. And I will take up 6 different questions in today's video. But before we begin, I just want to thank you all, wonderful viewers, for all of your support, for your comments, for your sharing, for your caring. It's very heartwarming, and it gives a lot of strength to continue doing more videos. And I also want to mention, and this is especially for these viewers' questions videos, I have received many mails. People have asked me about where and how they should invest their money. Should they invest in this cryptocurrency or Bitcoin or this or that? About investments, I am unfortunately not a financial advisor. And since the banking situation all around the world looks like it looks, and a lot of things are going to fall, one have to use your own common sense in what to invest in. So I will not give you any financial advice. You have to think logically and make your own decisions about that. And what have people always used as currency through the ages that never failed? You could look into that maybe. But giving you advice, so you should sell this or buy this, so no, that is not my field. And that is something you will have to look into yourself. Sorry for that, but it's how it is. Well, about this today's video's question, I have a little list here, and I'm going to read to you the questions I'm going to look into today. And the first question will be about Germany, and will Germany join BRICS? And the second question will be, will Donald Trump and Putin be arrested? The third question is an update about the conflict between the country U and the country R. What is going on in that conflict? Number 4, will the Netherlands have monarchy in the future? Will there be kings and queens and princesses and so on in the Netherlands? The fifth question is about Sweden. Is Sweden going to join NATO? And the last question for today's video will be, will the IRS be permanently dissolved? And also about taxes for the rest of the world. How will that look like in the future? So that were the questions I'm going to look into today. And to do so, I'm going to use my tarot card, some oracle cards, gypsy cards, and some dice. So let's begin with question number 1, and that was about Germany. Will Germany join the BRICS? So let's see. It's a huge thing if Germany joined the BRICS countries. That means the whole EU could crash down quite quickly. So let's see about Germany. Will Germany join the BRICS alliance? Germany and BRICS. Will Germany join BRICS? and oracle cards. Will Germany join BRICS? And let's get some dice too. Hello. One, 2, and 3. Let's see what we got here. Yeah. Well, glasses on, and let's read the cards. Well, Germany are certainly looking into that question. And they have like internal discussions. We have the officer here, we have discussions here. If they're gonna move into BRICS instead of EU. They're really discussing it. We have return, point, and the death. If they join the BRICS, it will be a point of no return. They will not be able to go back to the EU. And that means the friendship they had for a long time, the faithful dog they have been, will die because we had the death about that dog. Meaning the friendship with the EU and that alliance will definitely die, and it will be a point of no return if they do it. So they have to think it very thoroughly before they make that decision. And it looks like they are thinking about their economy, what is best for Germany, because at the moment the economy is really crashing down, and they want to rise again. I'm gonna take one card here. It looks like they are going to join the BRICS system. Yeah, we have the 10 of coins. It's for abundance and trade and money, and that will boost their economy. And it's like they are playing a little game at the moment because of the card of lies, 7 of cups, and they're like, no, of course not, we're not going to join, we have other plans and so on. So they're like playing a little game at the moment. But it looks like they're going to join the BRICS. And this could happen. Let's take one card on that. When could this happen? When could Germany join the BRICS? We have number 1, the magician. As I said, they're manipulating, they're playing a game. It's like an illusion at the moment. So it could be within 1 month, could be within 1 week, but probably within 1 year. And that they will end their friendship with the EU. Yeah. So according to the cards, it looks like Germany will join the BRICS within maximum 1 year. And at the moment, they're playing a little bit shadow game. There is some lies, there are some manipulation, but it looks like they're gonna do what is best for Germany and the German people. Yeah. Well, that was my answer to if Germany is gonna enter the BRICS, join the BRICS. So, next question then. What do we have there? It's about the president number 45 and the former president. Will the former president be arrested? And with that question also comes with Mr. P, the big bear. Will he also be arrested? Because they are announced here and there and they want to arrest these two big leaders. So let's begin with the eagle from the West. The president number 45, the former president. Will he be arrested? Will the former president be arrested? And on this I'm gonna take only one die. And let's see what we have here. Well, I don't see any law enforcement here. I don't see him being handcuffed or put in jail. I don't get it. This is more the situation about the former president is very stable. There is no direct danger to him, or that he will gonna be in jail for long time. They are working on this, yes, and the good side are working on this, and it's like some kind of double game. They want to show that they are not just that is if he will be arrested, it's not justified. They want to show the injustice. That is some kind of dirty stuff behind this arrest. So the arrest is like welcomed in some way. And people will have very hard time to swallow that. It could be some kind of arrest, but I don't see him sitting in jail or getting like a sentence of long time. I'm not sure if this arrest will come tomorrow or a little bit later, but it looks like they are planning this arrest, both the good side and the bad side. And this is like planned a long time ago. And it will look like it's something horrible, but at the end, it's something quite good. And everybody gonna talk about it. All the mainstream media gonna talk about it. It's gonna be everywhere, all around the world. So it's also some kind of publicity trick, you can call it, to get a publicity on a corrupt system, to show it more openly. At the end, I have the card of temperance. So everything is okay, everything is fine. It is like it should be that way. New things gonna be built through that so-called arrest. So my answer is, and we have a little elephant here, a little Dumbo. So really it's like showing the elephant in the room, the corruption, the things that are going on that are not clean in the justice system. And that will be shown through this so-called arrest. Some kind of arrest will be, but at the end this arrest is planned for exposing a lot of dirty stuff that is going on in the US. You can say so. So let's look into, will the big bear, Mr. P, get arrested? Will the big bear in the east get arrested? Yeah. Will he show up? Yeah. Let's see here. Will Mr. P get arrested? Will Mr. P get arrested? So. And some dice. Let's see what we got here. Well, for Mr. P, we have water, a dream about, and a dragon. And we also have a misfortune, disgrace. They want to put some disgrace onto Mr. P. They want to accuse him of something. But the dragons, they are the dragons that want to put him behind bars. They will reap what they sow. Mm-hmm. And Mr. Putin being arrested? No way. We have the world, we have Ace of Coins, Temperance, and three of Cups. So it's like laughing and partying on, and no way. I don't see him getting arrested in that sense, no. And those who want to arrest him, those who want to put judgment on him, the whole system that are trying to push this on Mr. P will fall. They are very nervous, they are very worried, and the reasons why they want to put him into arrest will fall, because we have the tower here on the judgment, so it will not work out. And Mr. P will continue to do what he has to do. So no, I don't see him getting arrested or sentenced for something, some tribunal that they want to put him in. I don't see him be there at all. It's like it's gonna backfire more on those who want to put him behind bars. Well, that was my answer for if former President of the United States and Mr. P are going to be arrested. Let's continue to next question. And the next question will be an update for the conflict between country R and country U. The conflict is not finished yet. It's still dragging on. And a little bit update. What is going on? Will there be an end to this conflict soon? Or is there anything that the cards can tell us at the present moment? So let's shuffle the cards a little for the conflict between country U and country R. The conflict at the present situation, the past, the future, what is good or what could be bad, pro or contra, and the final result of that conflict. And some oracle cards and some dice. One, two, and three. And here is how it looks. Okay. What do we have? On the dice, we have my family, consume, a desire for. And the situation at present moment, we have the fool and we have the judge. And it's like this conflict is getting more crazy. And more fools are mixing themselves into this conflict. And everything is judged. So everything is... they're gonna look into who did what and with whom and so on. So the fools, it's going crazy. Really, it's going crazy, that conflict at the moment. The past, those who have invested a lot of money in the country U, money that maybe was not clean, because it's all about money. And they are very worried about their assets in the country U. And more the conflict is because of that, the money that comes and goes from the country U. Those who did invest a lot of money are getting worried, are acting foolish at the moment. And it's consuming everybody and everything, because the whole Western world are paying for this conflict. That is really not theirs, not the people's conflict anyway, because it's the conflict for those who have invested the money and make money on that conflict. It's their goal to keep it going. And it's consuming the families, the normal people in Europe, in the country U and the country R. And all the normal people, all desires for this conflict to end. But it's difficult as long as you can make a lot of money on a conflict. What is pro and what is contra, good or bad? The good thing, we have a judgment and we have falseness, meaning all that dirty stuff that is behind this conflict will be judged. It will come up. Everything that is happening from the evil side, from the bad guys, are written down. We have a letter. There are a lot of evidence that is collected all the time. And that is a good thing. But for the bad guys, it's not so good. We also have a ring with a red stone in, a ruby. And those of you who knows what those red stone means, you know. I cannot go into detail in this video because of very sensitive information and how this so-called red stone is produced has a lot of things to do in what is happening in the country U at the moment. So they are like stopping the production of these red stones. What will happen in the future? We have 3 of swords and a letter, meaning this conflict will end. Definitely, it's gonna end. Totally end. And it will go quite quick. I see the end approaching very, very soon. And the final resort, we have like fight, war, and the death on it. So this war will end very, very soon. Sorry, I'm gonna take just some hiccups. I'm gonna take some card here on this conflict. And let's see. When is this war, this conflict, going to end? When? I have number 9. Number 9 could be 9 days, 9 weeks, or the 9th month. In this case, since I see it quite close. At the most, September. I'm gonna take one card more. What? No, I need to shuffle those again. I just take a couple of tarot cards on the question: what will happen to the country U once this conflict is stopped? Yeah, could be a good question. What will happen to the country U once this conflict is over, it's stopped? What will happen to the country U? Okay. Country U will not exist as a country U anymore. We have someone that's turning the back, and it's going into a little bit like oblivion. The military is gonna rule for some time. The country looked like it's gonna be divided. But through this division, I still see like the country will recover. It will get strong again. And yeah, things gonna be better. But still we are not there yet. And the military, as I said, is gonna rule. And people are gonna return to their homes. And I also see like the country gonna be rebuilt. And many homes that were destroyed is gonna be rebuilt, and people like get a second chance in the territory. Because I don't see the country exist anymore, and there will be a lot of trials, tribunals around this war in the country U, and why it started. Who was behind what, and so on, and a lot of things will come into the open that maybe are not so pleasant to hear about. So yeah, and there have been a lot of lies, a lot of gossip, things that were not true about this country U, what was going on, and this will also come up through the military. And some kind of tribunals. Well, yeah, that was my answer for a small update of the conflict between country U and country R. Let's continue to question number 5. No, number 4, sorry. Uh, will the Netherlands have monarchy in the future? Yeah. Will the Netherlands have kings and queens and princes and princesses? Will there be a monarchy? For the Netherlands. Will there be a monarchy in the Netherlands? And some dice. One, two, and three. Yeah. To that question, if the Netherlands gonna have monarchy in the future, I will say no. There are not going to be monarchy in the Netherlands. Here we have a crow flying riches. So the whole riches, the whole rich families, the monarchy are gonna fly away. And a lot of people gonna miss the monarchy, and a lot of people will not miss the monarchy. And there will be some new kind of, not aristocrat, but no, some bridges will be built, some other kind of monarchy, but not monarchy. People will look up to different kind of qualities than being a monarch. Maybe people who have done a lot of good for humanity, they will be more appreciated, and maybe for good reasons, and not just because they are from a certain bloodline. No, there will be different kind of famous people, but not through monarchy. And we have two cards of justice and judgment. So a lot of people in that aristocrat group in the Netherlands will face some kind of justice, some trials, tribunals, and it looks like a lot of them could lose their positions or their riches gonna fly away. People could be worried about that, but if you are guilty for some very, very serious crimes, doesn't matter if you are royalty or common person, of course you're gonna face the tribunal or the punishment that comes with that crime. And when the monarchy disappears, we have the Fool and the person, the Eight of Cups person that turns the back, goes away, do not want to be there or is not there any longer. It will come suddenly. It will come when people expect it at least. So it's nothing that will drag on. It will be like within 1 week, 2 weeks, there are no more monarch. Because also we have the justice system. It's gonna take a lot of people in. I'm gonna take one last card on that question. If we can get some kind of time frame when this monarchy could stop to exist. The problem with time frames, as I mentioned many times in my videos, is time is extremely difficult to predict on. And may say within 3 months, 6 months, and so on, but that is always just an approximate. Things may occur much later than this 3-6 months. Could be a couple of months later, half year. It depends what it is. If it's a very big, serious event that is concerning a lot of people, that could also be a little bit later. It depends on what it is. One can never get an exact time. It's only an approximate. So let's take one card. If we can get an approximate time when the monarchy of the Netherlands will stop to exist. And we have a number 6, 6 of Wands. That could be anything between 6 weeks, 6 months, the 6th month, 6 years, yeah, could be, but it feels more like it's something is cooking here, something is coming up in the quite near future. Yeah. But anyway, in the future, there will be no monarchy. That was my answer for question number 4. And question number 6 are for Swedish people. And it's about NATO. Will Sweden finally join NATO? They have tried and tried and tried, and they are waiting and turning and twisting and trying that way and the other way. And it really doesn't seem that they are accepted yet. So what is going on with this Swedish NATO application? Will they finally join NATO, or will everything be put aside? Let's see about that question. Will Sweden join NATO? Just a moment. Will Sweden join NATO? Let my die. So we have here Well, and the dice we have an heart and 2 hands, must and another heart. And we have flowers and visits. So they are really trying to impress those countries that are standing between Sweden joining NATO and not joining NATO. And they're pressing, they're coming with nice words, with loving and caring words and gifts and flowers, and they're making a lot of visits and trying to make a good impression. But they are not really that much liked. We have the country that stands between a yes to NATO and no to NATO doesn't trust Sweden because we have lies, and they don't like them, and it looks like it will be very, very difficult for Sweden to join NATO. It's looked like the application will not be approved but from more than one country. Yeah. So no, I cannot see any yes to a NATO. No. Instead, there will be also here some kind of tribunal regarding money. And it could be dirty money, it could be money like bribes or something like that. And that will come up instead. And I don't see it here in my cards that Sweden will be joining. Yeah. I'm gonna take 2 more. And that country that doesn't want to give a yes will have another country backing them up, who they are friends with, to keep that decision to say no to Sweden. So there is another country backing up for that decision of a no. And this country is quite have a lot of influence and a lot of things to say about that. So unfortunately for those who would like to see Sweden in NATO, according to the cards, I don't see an approval where all countries say yes. And those who doesn't like to see Sweden in NATO, well, for you I can say there will not be, according to the cards anyway, any NATO. Sweden will not join NATO. Well, that was my answer for question number 5. Let's continue to question number 6 and the last question for today's viewers' questions. And number 6 was, will the IRS be permanently dissolved? And also an extra question to that, what about the tax system for the rest of the world? But let's concentrate on the IRS. Will it continue to exist or will it be dissolved? IRS. What will happen to IRS? We have ice, we have bump, and we have money here. Yeah, we have the hangman in the center, meaning IRS is hanging. It's not doing so much good for anybody. And it's victimizing people. People are suffering because of this IRS. And we have poverty, and they are making people poor. They have been quite strong in the past, but there is not more money to get from the people. Yeah. And they have tried with violence, with fight, with making big problems for the people to take the last penny out from them. Will they continue in the future? The IRS are like a ship in the air. Normally ships go on water, not in the air. So it's like more airship. It's gonna fly away because it doesn't belong. It's in a place where it doesn't belong. A ship doesn't belong in the air. A ship belongs in the water. So it's like it has to be taken away. I'm gonna take some extra card here. How and when? How? It's like been because we have Five of Swords, we have the Moon, Queen of Wands, and the Sun. It's like it has been planned to be taken away in the shadows, in the dark. So there have been plans, there have been discussion how to take it away. And there are a lot of people involved. There are women, there are men, there are a lot of people involved in this taking away the IRS. And they will be successful because we have the Sun. Some new enlightenment, some new information, or some new energy. Something will come up and that will put a light on this IRS, and this light could also be some very important information, will make the IRS disappear. Because they are making people poor and nobody really knows where the money goes. So let's take just one more card on if it goes away, when could it be? When could this whole IRS system dissolve? When? On the other hand, I don't see it dissolve completely, like no tax at all. At the present IRS that it is, it will be totally changed to something different, and that will not be like a hangman for the people, making the people poor. When? The devil is involved in IRS. We have the devil here, the tower. They don't want to give me exact when, but it will be some kind of an extraterrestrial forces also involved in this IRS, strangely enough. Yeah. We have the tower in the center, so it could crash down at any moment, really. I don't see long time. We have Five of Swords, it could be 5 weeks, 5 months, 5th month. It's difficult to say the time. But it will crumble down like the tower crumbles down, giving place for something new, something that is clean. So yeah, IRS will be dissolved. I don't see it completely dissolved, like totally no tax at all, but not in that sense that it is today, making people poor. Totally different kind of tax system. So let's now take just some cards on taxes for the rest of the world. What will happen there? Will the tax system as it looks today continue? Or will there be changes also for taxes all around the world? Yeah, let's take some cards on that. What about the rest of the world? Will the tax system continue with what they have done to the people? Will it continue as it is? We have a strong man, a judge, and mountain. Taxes for the rest of the world. There are a lot of countries all around the world that have extremely high taxes and eat up everything, and salaries, earnings, everything, make life very difficult for people to prosper, to have their own business and be able to live on that. So many people have a dream about that the tax system are gonna change. And according to the cards, that dream looks like it will come true. People today are worrying how to pay taxes, how to make ends meet. And a lot of people are not doing well because of the tax system. The whole tax system as it is today is very sick. It's ill. We have 10 of Swords. It's making people ill, and and there are a lot of it's too heavy on the people, and it needs to be cleaned up. And that is what is going on. We have the judge here. So some kind of decree, some kind of international judge decision, I cannot say exactly what it is, will change the whole tax system and will make people want to work because they can make a good living of their work. And it will be like a rebirth for the rest of the world, with prosperity, with abundance, and a lot of those taxes that are pushed on people will disappear, and time for abundance is coming. Many people will think, oh, how is it possible? How is it going to pay? But there is money. There is enough money for everything if it's well managed. We are waiting for a time of temperance, of good times, of everything is balanced. Time frame is very difficult here also, but we have number one, the magician. One could think it's an illusion, but it's not an illusion. But it's gonna feel like magic when this happens. Number one could be 1 year, 1 month, next month, January. So a lot of things are about to happen within 1 year. I cannot say if everything is in place within 1 year all over the world, but a lot of things are going to happen in the taxing system in different countries. Well, that was my answer for the last question of today's viewers' question. And to all of you wonderful, wonderful viewers, I want to wish you all the best. Be strong. Hold on. Things are going to change for the better, even if it looks quite chaotic at the moment. And if you should have maybe any question you would like me to answer in a video like this, feel free to mail me or maybe put the question in the comments below the video. And I'm sorry if I maybe not be able to answer specifically your question. I will do my best. There's not many people that send me questions, but maybe it doesn't come in the next video. It could maybe come in the video after that, since I'm gonna try to make 1 or 2 viewers question video a week. I will try. It's not always I can get the time and everything to do it, but I will do my best. Anyway, I want to thank you all for watching and wish you all the best, and hopefully we're gonna see each other soon again. Bye bye.